Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are at VAG Technic as usual. This is my probably primary home. My second home is only for sleeping and a bit of a hygiene here and there. So we have the RS6 on the ramp, which is most of the time on the ramp because it's a project, so it needs to be finished. And in this video, mainly, we will be working after 5 weeks on the car because I didn't have time, unfortunately. I do want to apologize, Phil from Mallory Performance as well, that it's taking a bit of a longer from my point of view, but yeah, I will get it sorted, I promise you. I will be dropping the car very soon. So, primary, I will be fitting the high pressure fuel pumps, which are here from OM Parts. And the reason why I want to fit them 4th time, I think it is, because these pumps are actually from the grey RS6 what we bought as a bit of a for parts, really. And I was swapping them because I want to find out, or I wanted to find out what's the noise coming from. So that noise didn't literally sort out with the pumps. After the car was tuned, the noise is not there anymore, like the ticking noise, so probably it was like the injected duty cycle. And I have a brand new unit here. So this was my Christmas present from myself to myself. We have one high pressure fuel pump brand new for £1 million and a second one for £1 million. If you're planning to tune an RS6 V10, I don't really recommend to go for the upgraded ones because there's no fuel pressure regulator on the rail. The one which I put there is not good because it's releasing so much pressure, it's going back to the low pressure system and it was making a mess. So from few conversations what I had, everybody told me just get the genuine new pumps, which I did, so we will install them. And I'm not expecting no change really, this is just a prevention because we will be doing some long journeys afterwards, if it's gonna go. And I wanna make sure I have no petrol coming into the engine. So I think smart decision. Then, after a couple of weeks, I will be fitting the brakes as well, the carbon ceramic what I bought from the gentleman who was braking his RS6. And I did want to fit like the calipers on as they were, but then I was checking them and I found out I can't fit them. Reason why, they were in terrible sad condition over the years, how the car was just sitting on the driveway. I literally couldn't take off those pins from the calipers and they were just rusty and ugly and not good. So I decided to go for a refurbishment. I will show you how they look like. And we also have new parts, new accessories and everything what we need to fit the brakes, which will be a second part of the video. For now, we will fit the pumps because that's the easiest thing. And I want to start the car afterwards, make sure there are no leaks, and then we continue with the brakes. So let's get to it. Again, same situation, pumps out because I love it. You gotta love it, otherwise you're just gonna, you know, kill yourself. These are the pumps which came out, which are original from the grey one. I still have the pumps from Mallory, which were original in the car over here. I will be putting them together. Also, when I smelled the pump, when I took it out, this one, which was driver side, even if I'm gonna smell it like inside there, it looks like it's not mixed, but it's just, I've got the feeling they're leaking. I don't know why, but it's my inner feeling. So that's why my inner feeling cost £1 million, but it will be better to have inner feeling now than be building the engine up again, because unfortunately I can't build the engine 3 times a year. And again, I have to strip out everything, the sensor, which is probably a pressure regulator, also these relief valves, and we have to fit them on the new pumps. So I think there's nothing holding us back to put them on there. And also, one last thing, I gotta put a springy here, so this is going off, and I have new genuine springs like on those ones, so let's fit them. And again, we have a bit of a fuel leak, unfortunately. I couldn't see where I was standing. I started actually leaking when I just put the key in the first position. I just seen the high pressure coming out of when I tried to crank it. So again, I have to replace the spring which is holding the hose from the return. Reason why it's actually spraying fuel even that the engine is not started, because that is going back to the low pressure from the return. So before you're gonna start the engine, the high pressure from the low pressure system will hit the valve from the other side. So we're just gonna swap the springy again and we're gonna continue. The engine did start. Well, again, we have a bit of a problem. I did put these genuine clips on from Audi. I had this one on there, what Mr. Phil gave me. It's a tiny bit bigger diameter and it's just not strong enough to actually hold it down. Even you have like grooves from the inlet, where's the valve, it's just not strong enough to hold it. So yeah, bit of a fuel here and there, very expensive fuel. And the last thing in the engine bay, I just gotta put these Torx 30s, one here and one there, and that will be like finished, hopefully. And next time I'm just gonna do oil change. So the engine should be now ready with new pumps. Also, they're not making the noise anymore, so it's not like tick, 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 tapping. And it's time to put the car on the ramp. So wheels are coming off and we're gonna try to swap the brakes. Okay, so condition, sat, dirty, very dirty. I do want to put it on the ramp, on the MOT ramp over there, which is currently taken from different car. The good news is the DRC is still there, all the connectors, all the piping look fine. I will clean it as much as I can. I'll get it protected. Also, the good news is I don't see a problem. It's just dirty, but it will be doable. That the flexi hose which is connected to the pipe is not rusty. I will try to remove the caliper like with the flexi hose, and of course this gotta come off, and I gotta drill up the broken bolt which is in there. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so I stripped one side down. Unfortunately, I did have to clean up because it was like quite dirty, and I don't want to be cleaning it afterward when the carbon ceramic this is there with the new calipers. It won't be really good. So I did clean it as much as I could, and right now I drill up the hole where you've seen, so that's sorted, so you can put a bolt in there. The old brake with the caliper is off. We can compare it, like what's the difference. Hui! So this is what I removed. Oi, quite heavy, and the disc is like seen some better times. And yeah, I do have a use for these calipers and stuff, so we will see into what vehicle we will put them, because they're still in working condition. But let me show you what's the difference between the disc, what was on there, and the one we put it on there. Oh yeah. So you can probably tell straight away what's the surface for the brake pad here and here. So it's massive. It's not too big diameter wise. When I put it on, it looks massively different. The good thing is I don't have to be changing those guards which are behind it, so that's fine. Also, carbon ceramic brakes, when I bought them, didn't know too much really, but you know, every day you learn something. So we have minimum thickness, and also you have minimum weight on the disc. So I did put it on the scale, and there's still plenty left, which is fine. Also, you just can't put them wherever, it's left and right. Also on the calipers and also on the pads. But literally, I'm very excited to fit them. So let's put this back in place, don't want to chip them. And here are the brake calipers. So I was thinking a lot, what paint color should I use? First of all, I thought I will be doing it myself. Then I thought, you know what, it's just I don't have the facilities here to do it. So I sent it off. Thank you very much to BCS brake calipers to sort them out. It was before Christmas, so it took a bit of a longer because the condition of them were poor, so they struggle a bit. And they've done me amazing price for front and rear. I will leave the link in the description below if you want to use them. Definitely recommend it. And this is the color what I choose. I know some of you will straight away leave me a comment, but I went for white. Reason why white? Because everybody got black, green, yellow, and I didn't see too many white. Maybe because they can get dirty. The carbon ceramic disc should dust less. However, of course, if you have something white, as soon as you're going to touch it with dirty fingers and stuff, it will become dirty. But I want to put a ceramic coating on them, so they still clean for long as possible, and also it will protect the paint from everything, water and iron and whatever's going to go on them. So yeah, quite happy with it. They look huge. And this is like a factory white, so this was an option from Audi, I was told. I never ever seen one in white, and I must say BC has done a good job on them. Of course, if you want to be picky, you can always be picky, but mainly they're stripping down, they're tested, we got new pistons, everything is new, so I'm quite happy with it. So right now we will fit them. Again, you have to be careful, where's the arrow? So the arrow here is aiming towards the wheel spin, and this is actually the one we need. So before I fit them, what I have to do, I will have to go through the threads, because I can see a bit of a paint there and stuff, and I have to take off the paint which is on the surface where it's gonna go to the hub. Reason why? Because Mr. Dave told me a story that he had his calipers done and he didn't take the paint off, and how it warmed up, it literally had loosened bolts. So we don't want to have any loose bolts, that's for sure. So we're going to take the paint off wherever it will be going together with the hub, clean up the threads, and we can fit them. So let's get it done. And the bolts are not coming on easily, so we have to clean up the thread. There was still a bit of a paint left over and some stuff. And also I'm sanding down the paint for the surface where it's going to be attached to the hub. Next up we are installing the bracket along with the brake hose. So the caliper is coming on, the bolts are coming nice and easily, and we can fit the brake pads. I can't even express my feeling how amazing it looks on the car. I know the car's dirty, it needs cleaning, this and that, it needs tuning still and stuff. But at the moment, I'm very happy, like money well spent, because you can actually see something for it. So I know why dirty, blah, 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 but it looks so clean on the car, you know. I'm really hoping it will stay this way, as long as possible, of course. So we will put the brake pads on now. And I do like these bigger calipers and the setup like on the other cars as well, where you don't have to take the carrier or the whole caliper off. Unfortunately, I didn't prep it properly because the studs which are coming there to hold the parts are not just fully coming in, so I can't put the security pin now. But after a bit of a while it's all fitted and I think we can move on. Okay, so I consider this side is done and sorted. We will move to the other side where we have to do exactly the same. Remove the caliper, take the disc off, repair the broken bolt, clean up everything and get it ready. So clean up all the surfaces for the disc and the new caliper. Also get the new caliper ready, better than this one, but this side look good, like it. I just can't imagine still how it's gonna look like when the car will be on the floor with the wheels on. Like, I can't wait. Okay, let's continue. And again, same process like on the other side. So we are removing the old brake caliper along with the disc. I have to drill out the broken bolt and redo the thread. Bit of a basic cleaning. There was loads of mud and grease, so I done my best what I could on this rump. And here we have a new brake caliper coming on, so thank you again, BCS. And before we gotta put it on, we have to do small adjustments here and there. So clear up the threads. I also spent a bit of a more time cleaning up the inserts where the pin goes for the brake pads. So that was all done. We also took the paint off from the surface where it's gonna be attached to the main hub. So once everything was ready and I was happy with the pins, we will move to the car and we will try to assemble it. So you can see that it's very important to have the one bolt holding the disc onto the bearing and the hub, because otherwise it's a bit of a struggle. New pads are coming on along with all the accessories and the spring, and I think it was very important to put everything new because the old parts were just rusty and they didn't look really good. Okay, so we are on the rear right now, and you can straight away see the condition is a bit worse, especially the DRC pipe. We will try to clean them and do them all up, and this is like crunchy, but we know about that. Yeah, I mean, I already checked the condition. Most likely I will have to joining the pipe on there somehow, don't know how yet. We have to remove the caliper. The caliper is actually the same caliper with the carrier on the carbon ceramics on this, and also we have to replace the parking brake motor because the calipers what they've done, there was a problem with it. I don't know what happened to it, and we will be replacing that. So first of all, take the wheel arch off and strip it down. So the rear, guys, unfortunately a bit of a worse condition. I'm taking the under tray off and I'm putting loads of WD-40 and try to heat up the pipe so I don't have to be replacing the part which is rusty. Unfortunately it didn't work out and I have to cut it on the end, so I'm minimalizing the damage. And of course, to remove the brake carrier, it was a bit of a pain. I have to unbolt a few things, but luckily it wasn't that bad. I took the part what I need to take off. I cut the pipe because it was so rotten I just couldn't unscrew it, unfortunately. That will be repairable, I'm not worried about that. Also, to take out the caliper along with the carrier, I had to unscrew one bolt, second bolt, and take the whole hub from the lower suspension arm to get to this bolt, which is quite crunchy. And then I found out that the hub for the wheel look like this, which is very sad, and I can't use it because if it's gonna be wobbly, it definitely won't be good, and this is something what we can't use on the carbon ceramic brakes. So I ordered new ones again, so I have to strip the whole thing down because the bolts from the back again are very crunchy and sad. I have to take the dry shaft as well, so let's continue. And once I knew the condition, we have to remove the whole thing off. Unfortunately, I didn't know that on the beginning, so to release the dry shaft bolt was a bit of a pain. It's definitely better to do it when it's fully attached onto the suspension. Luckily again, no damage done, everything came out nicely, and then we have to remove the wheel bearing. So before I do so, I tried to clean out the hub with the bearing as much as I could. Unfortunately, you know that aluminium and metal over the years, when it's gonna be stuck together, it's a bit of a pain. Luckily, again, a bit of a hammering, slowly losing the bolts, it came out nicely, so we can continue. This is what we have left from the right rear. unfortunately. It's a bit of a sad condition as I was expecting. The rear hub, I did clean it up as much as we can. Took the old wheel bearing out without damaging it, which is good. ABS sensor, managed to remove it as well. So that is ready for a new wheel bearing with the hub for the wheel. I stripped the rear caliper because I will need this motor, which is just driven by the shaft here to operate the parking brake on the rear caliper. The bolts, I do have new bolts. These ones are a bit sad, so to go in the bin. And this is the leftover from the rear pipe for the hydraulic fluid to the caliper. I actually cut it off, so it's nice cut, and we will try to just squeeze it again, so it will be tiny bit shorter, but it should be long enough to actually reach to the flexi pipe. The springy, that's rusty, we'll put new one in. Unfortunately, I can't continue right now because I don't have the wheel bearing, which will be here tomorrow. So meanwhile, we will do the same thing on the other side, because I believe the other side will be in the same condition. If not, we're gonna do both sides anyways, just to have it like equal. So let's continue. So let's move to the other side, guys. Same process. Wheel arch is coming off and all the mud and dirt just fell on the floor. Loads of WD-40 again. I tried to save up the brake pipe. Unfortunately, I didn't able to sort it out, so I have to cut it. So I knew if I have to do one side and the condition on the offside was like a bit of a worse, I'll do both sides at the same time. So again, offset bolt, 2 bolts from the bottom are coming out, dry shaft bolt, and we're gonna take the whole thing out. In this case, the wheel bearing was stuck quite a lot. I wasn't able to actually take it out easily. Also, the ABS sensor died, unfortunately, because that was stuck. And you probably know when you're working on Audis, you have the cheeky bolt going through the hub to the upper suspension arms. This is the same thing. The metal bearing in the aluminium hub is just completely stuck over these. But there is nothing what bit of a heat and hammer can't sort out, so luckily I was able to remove it, and we're gonna clean up the whole thing and we can continue.
The next day.
We receive a wheel bearings and only one hub, unfortunately. So again tomorrow. This is actually the second day when I'm waiting for them. The Audi ones are on back order, couldn't wait. Also, I did have to buy a new ABS sensor. One was saved, that was all right. The other one didn't survive the rust and the condition, unfortunately. So we can at least put one side back together. So it should fit on like this. Is it the correct one? Looks like all the holes are lining up, that's fine. So we have new bolts ready to go on, and we can do at least one side, and tomorrow we will finish it up, hopefully. It looks amazing. New shield, new bearing, new hub, this is painted, everything looks cool. However, there's a problem. Yeah, as soon as I try to put the disc on the hub, it will literally come in like the metal one. But the problem is it's already touching here on this surface, and it don't want to sit on the hub surface. So I was like, what the hell? And then I start comparing the stuff, and look. You can see this gap is like 6 millimeters away from the bearing, and there's none. So I was doing a bit of a research again, and actually I ordered these by part number. So the problem with it is that these should be the same as a 3-liter diesel. I already spoke with the guys in Slovakia and everywhere, and the part number is the same. And this is what I was like delivered, like it's not the same. Yeah, so I've got a feeling, but I'm not sure, because I never had a problem with the hubs like this. Like this is dead. Yeah, I can't put a disc on a surface like this, no way. The only thing what I'm thinking right now is to strip this one down. I'll take it to the machine shop to skim it and try to save it. Yeah, because I've got a feeling genuine they're gonna try to sell me the whole assembly with everything, which will be £1 million, and will probably come in February next year, which is a bit of a problem. And yeah, so the quickest way, we're gonna strip this one down, hopefully tomorrow the guys will sort it out for me, because the car's on the ramp and my plan was to do it over the weekend, and it's Tuesday night and it's not done. I was waiting for these for a whole day, literally from yesterday. They first come without them and now they're wrong. So that's the life of a mechanic these days. So wish me luck. I will try to save these, but I'm a bit of a skeptical, so let's get to it. I take them off from the wheel bearings, also drill the holes and make a new thread in there. They are really sad. The other part of the bearing, I have to grind it off like this and obviously somehow push it out. Managed to do it. There's a small scratch here, but that won't have any effect. This is just how it is. Wouldn't be worried about it. I'm really hoping by tomorrow the guys will be able to sort it out for me, and I'm really hoping that this beautiful project car will be off the ramp soon, because we got customer cars to do and it's just taking the piss. So I'll speak to you tomorrow. The next day. Okay guys, so again, a few days later, we have these beauties back, and they actually done a good job. It took them like a couple of hours, but unfortunately I was working in the workshop doing some quotations and stuff. So the guys in the machine shop told me they took like a thou of them, which is like in millimeters, like almost nothing. It done the job. It looks straight. Of course, it's still there. It's just gonna clean it up a bit. We have the wheel bearings ready, so we have to press that into the wheel bearing and we can continue. So I'm really hoping later on today we're gonna bleed the system for the brakes, and I still have a new battery coming in somewhere over there. So that will be sorted, and once it's gonna be all done, we can go for a drive. So the disc is on. As you can see, the clearance is like really minimum, unfortunately. So that's why I was afraid to actually take it to the machine shop, like skim the surface, because if it needs skimming too much, it will not actually help us in the problem, because it's very tight. But it's spinning freely, it's not touching anywhere, which is really good. Even the shield is not touching anywhere, which is really good. So I think we can continue like putting it back onto the car. And before putting the whole thing back on, the whole assembly, I have to remove the coil spring along with the setup, because I couldn't turn it. So we clean it up and we can finally assemble the whole thing back in there. So I tried to lift up the rear suspension as much as I can, so it's in the position like the car's full lying on the floor, and then tie the bolts. That's because of the bushings for the suspension arms, otherwise you can damage them. And then we can move on to the other side. So same process. Luckily the coil spring along with the thready thing where you have to turn it to high all over the car was in better condition in this case, so we just put the whole assembly back in with the new discs and pads, and then we can move on, bleed the whole system. Uh-oh. Okay, hold. Okay, just a second. Okay, pump it. We bleed the system and it looks good. The car was even started and we bleed it before we started up, so majority of the bubbles came out. We were using .5.1, so I believe we pressed out all the old fluid and put like over 1 liter of new fluid. And I forgot to film because it was too late. With Mr. Philip, we've been here very late. We rejoined the rusty metal pipe, the brake pipe, with a copper one, like this, and like that. There's a new spring. And yeah, I mean, some people sometimes were leaving me comments that it's not good and I don't know what. But basically, it is a proper joint. Of course, the metal is not like a soft material like copper ones, but these should be rated to 180 bars. Which I think for the brake system is fine to use. But leave me a comment what you think, why we shouldn't use it, and why. I'm very interested why. Of course, the new flexi hoses, all of them are new. We swapped the motors, the electric motors for the brakes. From the other side, we actually rejoin it as well over there, just the shortest possible way. I did try to just repair the end of it, but I wasn't able to slide the end on it, unfortunately. So that's why it's like rejoined most possible shortest way. Again, new flexi pipe, everything was bleed, so it should be fine. I still have to set up the suspension. That side, the other side, I have to take out the spring along with the screw. So how you setting up the height, because it was too dirty. And there should be Allen key number 8 from underneath, which is gonna hold the rest of it, and it should like turn out. So I want to lift the car up by at least 1.5 centimeter because it was too low. The front looked good. I still have to re-tight the calipers in the front so I don't have killed. And I have to go for the tracking because I loosened these bolts which are offsetted. So tomorrow we're going to airline. Whew. So guys, we have 1 in the morning. It's almost done. Tied the wheels to Newton meter spec, tied the rear wheel bearings to the dry shafts, and tomorrow we're going for tracking. I still have to change the car battery, what I have here ready for it. Before we go to Mallory, which will be probably Saturday, I want to check the oil level, coolant level, make sure everything is fine. I didn't drive the car, so I have to obviously drive tomorrow, but the tracking is very important to be sorted. And from Mallory I have to go somewhere up north to pick something up. You will see what. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going home, so good night. And beautiful morning, guys. Hello from A-Line in Dudley. Thank you for the coffee, guys. The service is A1 like A-Line. So I'm waiting for tracking because I was messing about the rear. So I want to make sure the suspension is set up as it should be. And also I only just by an eye put the offset bolt with the washer in place because I was cleaning it. So I literally cleaned off the original marking where it was. And I just want to make sure everything is as it should be. Also, when I put the wheels on, actually the right rear yesterday, and I spin it, I saw that the wheel is actually slightly touching the DRC hose. So I definitely did put it right. After first miles, the car's going straight, doesn't seem to have any problems. I'm not 100% happy with the pedal, so I think we have to bleed the system probably one more time and make sure there's absolutely no airlock in the system. Because when I press it the first time, it's a bit soft. When I do like a pump, it's like as it should be. So I believe there will be a leftover airlock somewhere in the system would need sorting. How the car feels on the road? Well, after another probably £3,500, it feels like you spent £3,500. And I must say, with the new pumps, the engine is running much quieter. I can't hear the ticking noise inside, so I think that was a really good decision to do the pumps, even if it costs loads of money. But you know, you want to have an RS6, you got to spend the money. So yeah, I'm waiting for the tracking right now. Tomorrow I'm going to Mallory. Phil is not working, unfortunately, because tuners don't work on Saturday. But he will have someone there who will take the keys of us. So once the tracking is done, we're gonna go for a drive around in here, and then I get back to you. These bolts, I'm not sure where they should be. These ones on the top, these, see? Because I have them off.
Oh, well, that's your camber adjuster.
Yeah, but I don't think it's right, because you see this cable tied here. Basically, see the DRC pipe, it's cable tied because it was too close to the wheel. You got the socket now?
No.
No, I got it. Hold on. I don't. It's literally, where's the coil spring?
I can see it.
Yeah, put your hand in. More. It's there. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Long fingers. Bit more, man. Can you get it from the other side?
Yeah, I got it. Good. I got it. Stubby ratchet in the 18, you won't get on it there.
Yo, guys, no hard feelings. Do you want me to take the wheel off and swap the bolt?
No, we'll see.
You sure?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's going to be easy. Jack it up, take the rat wheels off and spot the bolt.
Hold on.
Just try that.
One wheel is coming back. Unfortunately, never take your car to VAG Technic for any suspension work, because they're putting the bolts opposite side. So that bolt shouldn't go other way around. Oh well. Next time.
That's the before, and that's the current. Okay, so
Much better.
yeah, everything there balanced. There's only that one fraction on that one, and there's nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, I'll be fine. The bad thing is we check it will not read out the tires.
Everything from a different angle, and it's just delightful. And so
And here I am, Friday night, polishing the car. On the beginning I've done just a bit of the bonnet just to try what will be the outcome, and I was sort of happy with it. Before I polish it, of course, I've done some basing, decontamination, iron removal and rubber removal. So I'm using a 3M paste, the 3M disc. I'm using the rotary one because it's like heavy duty, and that was the right thing to do to remove all the stains from the water, how it was standing on the sun and drying. So it brings the paint back to life quite a lot. I use this polisher a lot before, so I know how to use it, and you gotta be super careful because it's spinning high RPM and you can burn the lacquer actually. I'm using the 3M paste along with a bit of water to bring the temperature down, and it will not leave any stains from the polish or anything. So yeah, happy with the outcome. Enjoy the time lapse. And here you can see small comparison what I didn't polish. You can see all the water I was drying on the roof over the years, so you can see all the white stains from the rainwater, and this is what I polished. It's not the best, I'm not saying it's a brand new car, but the outcome is much better. All the bird shit which is on there, that was polished out. So I think if you want to bring the lacquer back to life, this is the only thing to use, because the offset ones are just not taking enough from the lacquer and is not hitting the surface properly. And here's the result, guys. So I'm not saying it's the cleanest and best car, of course, but this was probably the best thing in a couple of hours what I couldn't done to the car, and I think the lacquer looks really fresh, and rotary polisher done the job. And here we are, 11 in the evening, again, from an easy let's wash a car, I end up polishing the whole thing, and I must say I have to do it. It's just my inner me didn't let me not to do it because it looks terrible. For an RS6 in this blue, unfortunately over the years I was standing, it looks very sad, and that wash actually show up even more things which were there, and I felt a bit of a shame to even drive the car like to somewhere and just leave it there because it looks really sad. But after I spent 3 hours polishing it, it looks much better, it's much fresher. And I think when I'm looking at the car, leave me a comment what you think, but it was still gonna be even a comment what you think. You will not change my opinion, because I think the blue with the gunmetal and white calipers looks absolutely sick. I just absolutely love it how the car looks. That's the most important. However, I'm still not happy with it because of course you have stone chips, scratches and small dents. If you have a look at the car from this distance, it looks really fresh. I think I must have done a good job, yeah. Soon as you're gonna come closer, unfortunately, stone chip, stone chip, stone chip, stone chip, stone chip. Then the car had a bit of a very hard life. Somebody tried to start on the battery 7 million times. You have the terminal there, so scratchy scratch. Also, we have few dents. I don't know why, especially on the rear doors. The other side has small dents here and there as well. So I want to call a dent man to sort it out because, how I mentioned, I want to put the wrap on, and the wrap will carry all the names who supported this build. So the plan is, with the wrap, I'm a bit of a cheeky bugger, but I want to cover all the imperfection on the car. So I want to make it like wherever is a problem, like I don't like the paint there, I don't like the paint there, I want to like cover it somehow. Also the badge is not from the car because it's straight, you can see there's a gap. Yeah, so I gotta take that off, it looks silly. So the wrap, I do have an idea how it will look like. Of course, it's sort of gonna be combined blue with matte black and like maybe one white stripe because of like the calipers were white. So I will try to combine it so it doesn't look like a circus on the wheels. But I will definitely try to put all the names which supported this build, how I mentioned, on the wrap. And yeah, so the car is clean, but that is not the priority. The priority of the vehicle is to drive it, so performance. And after the tracking, I must say, I've done probably about 10 kilometers. And since I swapped the high pressure fuel pumps for new ones, the engine is running really quiet. Like we bought the gray RS6, which is outside, and that is a stock engine, and that engine was really quiet. And this one is as well now, so I'm really happy. So the high pressure fuel pump was a good investment. Also the suspension and the tracking and everything, thank you to A-Line again, that they sort out the tracking for me. And actually the car's going nice and straight, it's rolling, everything is cool. The carbon ceramic brakes, if you have a carbon ceramic brakes on your car, you probably can tell, is not really good for daily traffic and daily driving. They don't like the small speeds, they don't like to be cold, and as a driver, you really have to make loads of pressure on the pedal so they actually start braking. They're not actually like biting into the material. So the steels which were there before were much better for daily driving. But because I want to go for Nürburgring, I want to go here and there, use the car higher speeds as well, I will probably need the carbon ceramics. That was the whole purpose of it. So tomorrow we're dropping the car off to Mallory, and I'm really hoping we will achieve the last step what we need to achieve, which is the 1000 bhp. But that is not in our hands, so we will leave it with Mr. Magical Phil and see what will be the outcome. So I'm going home now, and tomorrow 6 o'clock we're leaving to Mallory, and I'll see you tomorrow. Morning sunshine. So we top up the fuel, 99 octane Shell. Let's go to Mallory. Fuj, jo, ta prevodovka je riadna. Okay guys, so we are on the way to Mallory, currently in Mexico and in the RS6. So we have a full tank of goodiness 99 octane from Shell, and I am on the motorway listening to the engine, checking everything, enjoying the RS6. And I must say it's much better because I did lift up the suspension on the back. So the damping is much better, it's much more comfortable, and the car is more civilized, because previously it was literally completely on the lowest setup and the rear just didn't want to dump absolutely at all. So it was like a bit of a tricky, but I did manage to do it. Also, the brakes, when I drive the car for a longer time, they're getting more bitey, so if I'm gonna hit the brakes now, it actually wants to brake. Yesterday when I drove it in town, when the car is literally stationary moving, the brakes don't like it at all, and to me it sounds like it's just you're making loads of pressure on the pedal, or more pressure than I'm used to, and the car just literally want to slide forward. It doesn't have the biting point, but it is better, so I think the brakes will be fine. The absolutely main thing is the car is quiet, except the exhaust, because obviously we have like exhaust with a high flow catalytic converter in the rear box, and that's it. But suspension wise, brake wise, nothing is shaking, nothing is vibrating. I've got a really good feeling about the car. So especially when I cleaned it yesterday, it started to getting that bit of a small touch of love when the car is capable to go somewhere. It doesn't look like a banger, and I think it's something what people probably, if they know what it is, will tell the heads. But the plan is, after the car's tuned, like I mentioned, we do want to go on Nürburgring. So I'm not sure if whoever is watching us is going to Nürburgring at some point, but the plan is we are going to France 22nd of March, and we would like to go from there to Nürburgring. So currently the date on the beginning is set up to 31st of March, which is Sunday, and the Nürburgring should be actually open. So probably we will stay overnight, and we actually might go on Monday as well, but that will be only from 5 to 7:30, I believe, for tourists. So we will see how it goes, but I would really like to go unleashed with the S3. The plan is we will go with the RS6 and the S3, or we will go with the all-road and the S3, one way or the other. But that is a very far away future, everybody, because currently we are just going to Mallory, and I'm really hoping Phil will just give us some good news after a couple of days, like the car is running spotless, everything is fine, and you can come and collect it, pay us £1 million for the tune, and it's done. That is how I'm thinking about the situation. If it's gonna be that case, nobody knows. Just listen to the V10. Absolutely loving it. And the car's not even tuned. I mean, from a perspective that, do you need the BHP? Absolutely not. It's plenty of BHP. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's running like 600 and something right now. The gearbox is absolutely shite. That gotta be retuned down, I don't know, but it's like the way it shifts, if you're not ready for it, you're really gonna beat your head against the dashboard, because it's just, it can't handle the torque, I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy with the sound, I'm happy with the engine sounds absolutely amazing now. So I'm really hoping there will be no issues, and this will be a nice smooth tune. And we are at Mallory Performance. Unfortunately, it's too soon, so we're leaving the car here. I managed to do almost 30 mpg. At some point it was almost 31, which is really strange. I don't think I was able to do the consumption like this, but you never know. Okay guys, so the car's staying at Mallory. He will drop the key off and we will have to wait for Mr. Phil. Good luck with it, man. Keep me updated. I'm really hoping we will not see any conroads, oil, coolants and some other funny stuff. So we will see you next video guys. Thank you for watching and take care. See ya.